It's time for a 2021 end of year wrap up because this is New Year's Eve. We are live. So we'll be going through all of everything that we've had in the past year and more on this episode of the Escape Podcast for Star Wars The Old Republic. Our broadcast astromech today is EPC 409. And playing alongside me is Seema. Hi, Seema. How's it going?
Hi, Max. I like how you say everything and more.
And more, because that's how you keep them. Like, you gotta put it out, play it out there. Tease the tease. Otherwise, they were just gonna leave because they didn't want to hear about 2021. Don't worry, there's gonna be more. Just whatever.
It's not just whatever you don't like about it. It's not going to be just that.
Whatever your heart desires. So stick around because it could happen.
So, there may be some alcohol in my recent past, Max. One circle of friends that I have. One of the things about COVID in the last couple of years has been that we've made more use of Zoom. And so even though now it doesn't matter where everybody is, we still get together. And tonight we got together and there was a little bit of toasting.
Nice.
Yeah. I really like that because we don't lose touch then, even if people move or if they're on vacation, like right now in the chat room, Squishy's in Cancun. So yes.
Yeah.
But let's see, I may touch on SWTOR. What have I been doing this week? Well, a lot of snowballs. Actually, we spent Tuesday night for MFN. We did basically 2 hours of snowball throwing and a lot of really entertaining chat. It was so fun, just chatting with everyone and running around and throwing snowballs. What we hadn't realized before we started is that there's a conquest target this week that if you get X number of missions completed, you get like a bunch of conquest points. And then after that, there's an eternal version of it. So, and then every time you throw a snowball and get a snow-covered parcel or a deco, that counts as one of those missions. So by the end of the night, after 2 hours of throwing snowballs, I had 900,000 conquest points.
Jeez. I was wondering why we were up to like 14 million conquest points just on a regular week.
Yes, that's why. I mean, some people were switching, but I couldn't be bothered.
Nah.
But yeah, because I was more into like, getting the snow covered parcels because I need to like spend those.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun. And also there's an achievement this year for getting 200 snow covered parcels and you get a title. I think I might even still have it on.
Cheer delivery expert?
Yes, cheer delivery expert, because, throwing a snowball at someone is definitely delivering cheer to them. It's delivering cheer to me. Maybe that's what it means.
Deliver cheer to your face.
Right. With frozen water.
No, Your Honor. I was delivering cheer.
But I also went on all my pub characters last week because we made a sort of pass at Total Galactic War last week. We weren't really going to do it, but we sort of put it out there in case there was a planet that just turned out to be really easy to win because everybody was on vacation. And because I can do this on my pub characters, I did get to conquest on every one of my pub characters last week, so I spent some time doing that.
That's a big deal. You really pushed it. I did not. I think I got conquest on one.
And I had 2 new characters that I started and got them both as far as getting their ship, so they had each like 300 or 400k conquest points. But that was last week. And then this week is this week, and next week is a whole nother.
This week is year. This week. That is eloquent.
Yeah. So that's kind of been my week in SWTOR. How are things going with you?
I didn't do as much in SWTOR because had my grown-up kids in town staying here for most of the week, all the way,
Nice.
well, actually all of the week and the week before. So they've been in here for a while. So we were doing a bunch of movie nights. We were having food. We were going to see family and having a great old time. So the stuff I did in SWTOR was getting a little bit of conquest, making sure I didn't get the cheer delivery expert title, so maybe I can still manage to get that. But I did make sure I had enough snow covered parcels, and I picked up off the vendor. I have multiples of everything on the vendor, except I didn't get, I think I just had the parcels to get it, but didn't bother to get it last year. So I just got them now, which was the Snowfallen Gizka and the
Oh yeah, I need to buy
Snowfallen
that.
Wampa Cub. And then these
What is a
two,
Gizka? It looks very strange.
it's like a little, like a little reptilian thing, but that gives it a snowball head here. There you go.
Yeah, I
There he
know.
is.
I know what it looks like.
There,
But it doesn't look like an actual Gizka.
well, yeah, because he had cheer delivered to his face, so
But it's like glistening and
it is
like
kind of
leathery.
it is. It doesn't the gloss is too high on that texture there,
And he has like
guys.
coal eyes and coal nose.
Yeah, so
Like
I think it's
coal,
supposed to look
like
like a snowman.
COAL.
It's like a
Well, yeah, he does.
snowman. Yeah, it's supposed to look like a snowman, but the reflectivity, so the roughness is much too low on that texture. Um, that's some of
That's
my 3D
that's how the
modeling
pros
texture.
say it. Yeah.
And then I got the hand warming emote. I got the embracing Wookiee, which I had not gotten last year. Maybe I'll get a few more of those. And then these two, which I think are, oh, you know what these are is the ones you can have in your inventory, and you can just plop down on plop down right next to us. I had the original
Yes.
of this, and I hadn't bothered to get the other ones, so I got those two too. And then I got a stack of 10,000 of the. I did the anniversary vendor stuff too, which I had everything off of the anniversary vendor currently from last year. They haven't put the new things on the anniversary vendor yet, but it's just a reminder for everybody: check those two vendors. Check the Life Day vendor and the anniversary vendor. Make sure you pick that stuff up. The anniversary vendor will continue throughout the year. That won't go away. And they will be adding stuff to it throughout the year also, which is kind of cool. But the Life Day vendor probably will go away, although it probably is down in the Cartel Bazaar as well. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And then outside of Star Wars, watching a bunch of movies and TV. Did watch The Matrix. I kept telling my youngest daughter, who's almost 20, kept saying, "Oh, we should go see Spider-Man. We should go see Spider-Man." I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want to do the mask in a theater." And me, I whined and whined and whined. I finally on Monday said, "All right, fine, let's do it. Let's do it tomorrow." And then Monday night, all the theaters for Tuesday all day, all of the showings on all the screens all day were completely sold out unless you wanted to sit in the front row. So it is a popular movie apparently, and I guess
Oh,
nobody had anything to do this week, and they were all sold out. So we didn't see
that's
it.
crazy. It's not worth it to sit on the front. I mean,
No,
yeah,
I'm not going to
not
pay
worth it.
money and wear a mask and go through that hassle to sit in the front row in a theater and look at your head looking way up in the sky.
Yes, I know. And the
Did I
screen
need
is
to
just like
demonstrate it for
a
you?
bunch of just a bunch of moving shapes.
Right. Tom Holland's giant noggin. You could just like seeing up his nose. No, I'm not going to do that. We did see The Matrix, the new Matrix movie. I won't spoil it, but I was happy I saw it because I wanted to see it anyway. Carrie Ann Moss and Keanu Reeves are worth me seeing, no matter what it would have been. And I could even see myself watching this again, but I don't think they needed to make this movie.
Yeah, I
And
heard it was a lot of fan service.
yeah. But yeah, bunch of stuff. In fact, I don't even remember. My son and I watched 2 movies last night because now they're all gone. They're all out with friends and actually out of state. All of them. One's in Missouri. One's in Michigan and one's in Iowa. All with friends. But we'll see. I might my two daughters, my son will probably be gone. My two daughters will be back in town a little bit next week. Might still try to see Spider-Man. And then gaming wise, plenty of Star Wars, as I mentioned. But I've also been testing and I say testing, but no, I've been playing around, goofing off with virtual reality on a Quest 2 in Skyrim VR. I put like the last 2 days now that my fam is gone. I put quite a few hours into it and really sort of getting that immersion in VR through Skyrim. I really like Star Citizen. I really like No Man's Sky in VR. And Skyrim with the mods. I had to have a few mods just to make it work well in VR, and you can look those up. It's well documented. There's a bunch of YouTube videos on why you would do that. But it's fun. It's immersive. It works. I want new version of
for sure.
in VR. It would be cool. I want Cyberpunk 2077 in VR. Anyway, that's what I've been doing. Let's hear what BioWare has been doing.
Now, an Imperial News Network report.
So we did not do this. So it's been 15 days since our last podcast. There hasn't been much news that has come out since then. We didn't expect it. They're still
not shocking.
working on 7.0 and taking a little bit of vacation too for the holidays. A couple posts did go out though, and I'll highlight one of them. One of the things that we didn't talk much about is Galactic Seasons is live on the PTS. So Galactic Seasons is out there. You're going to want to potentially check that out if that's something you're looking forward to. To me, it looked pretty much the same as what we've seen in the past. For our first season 1, it didn't seem very different to me. For season 2, it didn't seem to tweak very much. But a new stuff to get, new companion, new things to go along with it, kind of like what we had for the first round. Slightly different approach though in a couple
this might be too detailed of a question, but did you happen to notice the space mission target?
No,
because that's one thing that they said they were going to do, but I just wonder if it's going to be like the really hard space missions or.
Yeah, no, I didn't notice that, and I didn't dig too deep in. There's a little bit of a change in you're also building up reputation with a faction as part of the progression through the Galactic Season, which is a little bit different too. So tweaks, and maybe we should dig into it, and then we'll maybe do even a whole segment on it in the next couple of weeks. But it's out there. Test it. And then the other thing that's part of that post, so they posted 2 posts that were about that Galactic Season. The other thing that they keep posting about is how the achievements work on the PTS. And we do have people, in fact, Medulla finished all of the achievements, which includes playing basically the story content in every expansion, in every chapter of every class. Yeah. Not every class, but one class all the way through all of that content. There are tips and tricks to getting through it a little bit quicker. You can copy over characters that are like, towards the end of chapter 3 and then just have it complete chapter 3 and, that kind of thing. So jump in our guild Discord, aie-guild.org, Discord in the upper right. Ask some questions in there if you are going for it and you want to know any of the tips and tricks, because we have people that have completed it and you can ask.
Yeah, but don't do that tip and trick. Do the ones like make sure you bring dark projects with you so you can boost up companions and stuff like that.
No. Number 1 is open up your collections, get your favorite gear set, and have it in your inventory when you copy over so you look good.
That's true.
It's better to look good than to feel good.
Yeah.
It
is.
In fact, look at my inventory right here. I have this is because I had this character to copy over to the PTS. I have my favorite armor set all ready to go with a red-black dye module ready to go into it. That was all sitting there in my inventory. So it'd be ready for copying over. Yeah. So what else we got going on? Then it was just a few things that we've got finishing out the year.
Yeah, just a reminder that there's a sale ongoing right now, 50% off all mounts and stronghold decos on the cartel market. That's going until January 3rd. So not a lot of time left.
Yeah. But this rounds out. I think it's the third of the sales. So hopefully you've been taking advantage of some of the other ones. I did some unlocks. That's my number one favorite sale of the year. When that comes around, is the Cartel Market unlocks. But mounts and stronghold decorations 50% off. That's cool.
I actually bought some armor sets because they're ones I've looked for in the past when I was trying to dream up a Halloween costume.
Right. And you had some really good Halloween costumes in the past. Some really creepy, scary ones. You should look up those pictures. Exposed brain tissue face, whatever that one was. That was crazy.
Yeah. I know. That gave Max nightmares.
It still does. Wake up screaming in the middle of the night. Ah, Shima, stop it. And then also just back on the PTS, don't forget all of the things that you might test. There are tons of threads out there that they've got asking for feedback on all of the different types of content. It's there. It's ready for us. We've got this extra month to tune everything up, to get feedback to them. Check that out. It's in the dev tracker. You can go through and you can find all of the play styles, all of the subsystems, all of the quality of life updates. Everything has got a separate thread associated with each of them. So go in there and get it done.
Yeah, and another reminder that this has already been published. I think we mentioned this before, but in January, we're going to see the Feast of Prosperity again. So this will be the third time we've seen this event. Yes, so that'll be going for 3 weeks, I think. Yeah. And then there's going to be at least 2 more total Galactic War conquest weeks in January.
And we'll have to see what we do as a guild. With 2 more coming up, we'll probably pick at least one of them and go hard. So be ready. Yeah. Be ready for that. I think next week. So I think starting Tuesday is another one, isn't it?
December 21st? No, wait. We did that one. January 4th. Yeah.
So yeah. So starting Tuesday is another 18th. One. I think we're going to do Republic on January 4th and Imperial on January 18th. And we'll have to see. We'll probably, we'll pick an appropriate planet. We've got our planning team, our conquest team. We'll pick a good planet to go after, but we'll have to see how things align. If people are ready to go by the 4th, ready to do some conquesting and see what we can look to try to achieve. Guilden community news. It's been a great year. Shout out to AIE, our guild, Alea Iacta Est. Had a great 2021 in lots of all of our games. We kicked off the year with some fun stuff. We had a winter con. We did streaming events. We did town halls. We did lots of stuff throughout the year. And then a bunch of stuff in a bunch of games, including playing a bunch of the new games. And we've still got a bunch of people playing New World. We had Valheim going throughout the year. A lot of really fun stuff. And of course, our Star Wars guild has been growing strong, bigger than ever. And a lot of new joiners. I keep having to G-kick old unplayed alts to make space. We keep hitting the limit. Let's see where we're at right now. We are at 981 characters in the guild right now. I just cleared some out middle last week because we hit the cap again. So shout out to AIE and all of the things we do. We will continue into 2022 with our Tuesday night fun nights, our monthly epic guild activity with Marcus and running those things, our multiple ops teams. It's just been so fun. So really, really fun time. Really appreciate everything that everyone does to make it a great community. It's very cool. Very, very cool. Also a shout out to our podcast community, a lot of which of you are in the guild as well, which is cool, but many of you are not. And we really
it's not required. Yeah.
Yeah, we just really appreciate you guys hanging out, the people that just tune in and listen on the feeds, on iTunes or whatever, the people that are live in our chat room on a weekly basis, the people that chime in and retweet or post on the YouTube comments here and there. It's almost like a little bit of a different subset. There's a Venn diagram there somewhere of overlaps, but there's like a couple people who post on the YouTube comments. There's people that reply in Twitter on a regular basis. There's the usual suspects in the chat room. And then there's the people in Guild that are in Discord talking about it and talking about the podcast and giving us ideas. All of everyone together is just an amazing group. So we really appreciate you guys sticking with us all these years.
That we do.
It has been a fun ride. So very shortly here in 5 minutes, we will be into 2022 on Eastern time for SEMA, and we'll shout it out once we get to that. But right now, let's rewind the clock. Here I got something.
Through the Force, things you will see, other places, the future, the past, old friends long gone.
That's right, Yoda. Tonight, we're going to focus on the past. Let's rewind the clock. So for 8 years now, we do a end of year wrap up where we look back and we remind ourselves of everything that has come this previous 12 months. And again, looking through the notes, and Seema, you did an amazing job collecting up our notes. I get surprised. Of everything that has come in the past year. It always ends up being more than I expected.
Yeah, me too.
And then probably next week, sometime soon, probably next Thursday, we'll do our look ahead 2022, and we'll work on our predictions. So for our prediction show, if you all have any predictions, be sure to send those along. Maybe we'll do a call out on some of those as we go along. But we're going to try to get a little crazier with some of our predictions. We'll see what we can do. We'll try not to make the predictions. Well, I think there's going to be an 7.0 expansion, and then leave it at that. We'll try to get a little more creative than that. But right now, yeah, let's wind it back. So let's go back to January. And what did I say? What was the? No, I lost the number. 360.
366, I think.
366, yeah. It was episode 366 was on January 7th. So we must have done a podcast. The 2021 wrap up was on the 31st, so it was New Year's Eve also. And then we waited till the 7th to do, I guess that makes sense. That's 7 days. That's how many days are in an Earth week. So how did we kick it off, Seema? You take the lead on this because
in January, I had completely forgot about this, but we did we teamed up with Working Class Nerds and did a joint episode in January.
That's right.
We talked about AIE and playing games, and it was a lot of fun.
And we put that on both of our feeds, I believe. So we did one show and put it on both of our feeds. That was, yeah, of course it's fun. We hang out with Marcus all the time, but we don't get to hang out with Nick as much. But yeah, that worked out really well. That was a good event. And then I don't remember if the AIE Con was January or February. In fact,
I don't remember. I just know it was early in the year. We had, and that was actually also a lot of fun. That was a time for people to get together and play all the games that we don't already play, like not video games, but other types of online group games like D&D and board games. And what's that casual game? Jackbox games?
Yeah,
which was a lot of fun.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
I can't find when it was, but it was.
And we had some guests from different parts of the industry, including an independent game developer and some board game developers. It was a fun time.
So it was. Here we go. Yeah, it was. Show me the date. January 24th. It was the last week in January. So it was.
Nice.
Yeah, we had. I mean, we even had industry like guests. This was the indie games dev panel, developers and indie game producers.
And that was actually why we now have twice a week a board games group playing on Thursday nights, and we have several D&D parties going.
Yeah, exactly. D&D was big for that. This was a fun one. They did a custom winter themed D&D session that was all about frozen zombies, sort of like a winter event, frozen zombies. Did it all in Roll20, live streamed it, and then spun out of that. Now we have multiple D&D groups, and there's been a couple one shots over the break here. Yeah, that was very cool. All right, then February. Speaking of conquest,
yeah, the main thing in February was we won a planet. So we did Total Galactic War 2 or 3 times in 2021, but February was the first time for 2021.
Right, and each time. So this past week was the first time we got to a Total Galactic War in recent history, invaded a planet and didn't win it.
Right.
Because everybody was on vacation. In fact, by us seeing there was a guild that hit it hard and was like blowing everybody else out of the water. Everybody sort of just took a vacation and
right.
took some time off. But yeah, winning a couple conquest planets, that was cool.
I ended up this week crafting, the components for invasion forces and stuff, but not doing a lot of conquest crafting because of that. Saving it.
I'm showing off on the stream now one of my Christmas presents for my kids, which was a Mandalorian mug. It's a
sweet.
large mug. When I drink coffee, I drink it like 20 ounces at a time. Only 1 cup a day, but like 20 ounces. So they're like 16. No, it's not that much.
Right. Which is like 2.5 cups, but that's okay.
It's 400 and about 410 milliliters. That's what I drink. But yeah, so I need big mugs to make it work. But this does not have coffee in it at the moment. It's got a little bit of whiskey. That was my first toast of the night. And we are in New Year's. We just ticked over about 60 seconds ago. Happy New Year's, Seema. Toast. So we'll raise a glass.
Happy New Year. Yeah, we will.
Do you still have anything in your
Yes, I do. I saved just a little tiny bit. And I'm toasting to everybody.
So this toast here, everybody on stream, everybody toasting. This, I think I've told this story even on stream before, maybe not live on the show, but my dad passed away about 8 years ago. And this was the last bottle. This is what he liked to drink most often, was Johnny Walker Black. This was the last bottle we shared. We opened it not long before he passed away, which was sort of sudden. So every year on New Year's Eve, I do 1 ounce of this for my dad. So this is my toast for New Year's Eve here. That's what Johnny Walker tastes like. I like Johnny Walker. It's a blend. It's a Scotch blend. Cheers, everyone! Happy New Year!
Yep.
And we will still be going in the post show all the way to Central Time at New Year's as well. And I've got another separate whiskey for that. All right. So that was January and February. That leads us into March. What did we do in March? Seema's working on Tres Comas.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I was working on Tres Comas in the first part of the year. I know I got it sometime during the first part of the year.
Oh, so you hadn't had Tres Comas until 2021?
I think so because I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, it's when it got really easy to make credits is when I made Tres Comas. And by easy, I mean get a few characters to Conquest every week and sell what you get from Conquest. That kind of easy.
Yeah.
And then you spent March amp rolling. That's what I remember.
I remember that being in our notes. I was trying to get all my amplifiers sort of min-maxed. Never got all the way there, I don't think. In fact, I don't have my gear. I'm naked. I do not have my gear. I left it on my Republic character because we do on
It's
Conquest over there.
it's officially a party.
There we go. Should I apply that? Woohoo! Yeah, I have most of them at the gold level. But then I switched later in the year. I switched from Innovative Ordnance to Arsenal when I got my full set of. Do we have that in the notes? When did that happen? So I switched over when I got my full set of Apex Predator. I switched to Arsenal, and then I had to re-roll more amplifiers then. Yeah, I remember that. Amplifiers going away in 7.0. So that's a thing of the past. We will not have amplifiers.
I won't miss them.
I won't miss them either. They didn't really add much. They didn't turn into what I had hoped that they would. They weren't as dramatic as they could have been. They weren't as crazy.
Yeah.
As would have made them really fun.
March was also when we first heard that Galactic Seasons was coming.
Right. First heard about Galactic Seasons, and I think maybe we got a preview and talked a little bit about it. By April, then we had a live stream which delved into it quite a bit more. In fact, I think I have some of the screenshots of that stream I'll bring up in just a second. But yeah, that here's the live stream. That was new. So this is when you were going through when I was going through the notes that you put together. I didn't realize that Galactic Seasons it was not until March and was just in 2021. I feel like Galactic Seasons has been around forever.
I don't think it actually started until May.
That makes sense. Yeah, Seema and Max start Galactic Seasons, but not in the same way. I see you wrote that down in the May. Seema did it the right way, and Max did it the wrong way. Seema didn't write that, but we know that's.
And as it turns out, I still got a nice long break between season 1 and season 2.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my concerns. That was one of my concerns, is that I wouldn't have a nice enough break. But even if 7.0 hadn't been pushed back, I had a nice enough break.
Yeah.
And what we're talking about is Max went full throttle and got it the fastest possible way by doing the most that he could every week. And I did it in a more just doing what I feel like doing type of way. And
yeah,
I did track my progress so that I knew I was going to get it done in time. Otherwise, I wasn't completely loosey-goosey about it. I was still a little bit, MMO about it.
Yeah, I did it the fastest possible way without paying money. Because there was one faster possible way, which was what Marcus did, which was the very first day, paid the money, and was done.
Yeah.
But it was designed that way.
I get the appeal, for sure.
So that leads us to April. That's what I'm showing up on the screen now. April was the announcement of Secrets of the Enclave. It went on the PTS. And then they did a live stream. And this was all the screenshots of the live stream that I pulled that we showed off. So we did Secrets of the Enclave back then. That was Malgus in the Jedi Enclave on Dantooine. And so we got it when they did the live stream, then they did a bunch of the screenshots as well. But we were in there early. Cool place. I have not been back. Now that I think about it, we should go back. Maybe we can go in there and level up, use it as a leveling tool to level ourselves up when we got to get 5 more levels. I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
But
that's a great idea.
And gear, because it will be worth it to do flashpoints for gear. I forgot about that. All right, so we'll have reasons to go to places and do things, and this can be a thing.
Nice.
So, yeah, I like this one. Arn. I don't like Arn. I mean, I don't hate Arn, but maybe the new
I like
Arn.
Arn.
Arn will be back in 7.0, and maybe he's a knight in 7.0, and maybe he'll be a little less Padawan-y. They always make Padawans. All the Star Wars writers make Padawans really whiny. I don't like that. Oh, and
But here's the
Aaron
real question:
Lanier.
is what is Charles's hair going to be like in 2022?
I think he's gonna end up full Gandalf.
I mean, he's pretty close
He's gonna
in
have
this picture.
Yeah. Somebody posted, I think, either on Reddit or on Twitter, a before at like an 8 years ago picture, or maybe even 10 years ago picture of him next to a current day picture, and boy, it's a difference. 10 years
But
ago, he looked like a child, and now
But I don't necessarily see his progress as being like the hair just getting longer. He just has a
No.
different style
Yeah,
from
yeah.
every time we see him.
The 10 years ago thing, he was like, yeah, like it was short hair, short, trimmed, but just a little bit of a beard, but really like a baby face, and
Right.
I mean, he looked like fresh young developer writer guy. I'm Charles. Now he's like, I'm Charles. Charles. Oh, you.
Yes. Intisar. Charles should go with the full perm this year. I like it. But so I don't see him going just more of what he is now. I see it being something completely different.
Oh, you think
We'll see.
Maybe he could like go like shaved and top knot kind of thing, or
Yes, top knot.
Yeah.
Or mohawk.
That's like a fantasy thing, is like the shaved head with the top knot, and I've never seen it in real. Does anyone ever done that in real life? I don't think anyone ever does that in real life. So why is it such a prevalent fantasy thing?
Well, because I think it's like a samurai feeling thing.
It's kind of Eastern. So maybe there's something close to it. The top knot is there's some styles that are kind of close to it, but they don't do like the shaved head.
Said perm, but I'm thinking maybe dreadlocks.
Ooh, dreadlocks. Yeah, man. Then yeah. That's why they've been putting all the dreadlocks into the hairstyles.
Yeah.
In preparation for what.
Although it takes a while to do.
Okay, now we're getting to predictions, and I gotta make a note. I gotta note. I gotta make a note of this of predictions. Predictions of Charles's facial hair and haircut for 2022.
And cranial hair. Yeah.
Moira Quirk is the voice of Erin Lanier. She was on that live screen.
I'd forgotten about that. Yeah.
I remember her. She was great.
Yep.
All the voice. We say this every time, but
she was great. Yeah.
She's awesome. And Erin Lanier is going to be back, I would expect.
How do you feel about Erin Lanier as a character compared to like Arn? Like you didn't like Arn?
Oh, I like Erin Lanier.
Yeah, she's badass.
And I just read or reread. I think I only read it for the first time. The Deceived Star Wars: The Old Republic novel 2 months ago. And that's Erin Lanier's. It's like half the book is told from Erin Lanier's perspective, so you get much deeper into her head. So I like
what's the other half?
Malgus.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, that's Malgus's story.
But it's from his point of view.
Yeah, I mean it's not first person narration, but yeah, it's his point of view. It's the story of from the Deceived trailer up until basically like the launch of SWTOR. Gotcha. So the Deceived one is the crash of the shuttle into the Jedi Temple. That's like chapter 1 of the book. And then it's everything that happens between that and basically the launch of the game. Because those 4 trailers, the 4 original trailers, all came out before, a long time before, and then that book was a nice bridge. So yeah, so that was April. Oh, here, yeah, and then they talked about Galactic Seasons. Work in progress. Oh, Arthur the Anteater, and we all got him as a companion.
One of the things I always predict is some kind of a new system a la DVL. Not meaning that it has to be like DVL, but it's like something to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like Galactic Seasons was that thing this time around.
Yeah, we did get a new system, a new feature, content, kind of not just story, but a new thing. So we're gonna have to get creative. And in fact, that all right, okay, we're gonna hold back because
Yes.
I'm doing it again.
Me too.
I have predicted. We've been saying this for 7.0. I think we haven't heard everything that there's gonna be in 7.0 and 7.0 and plus. Because what launches in February will be 7.0, but 7.x will have other things, and I'm still betting, and I'm putting money down $1 that we will get a system like that, something new that we haven't heard of before, and we haven't even thought of.
Yeah.
All right, then you said May we started Galactic Seasons, but not the same way. We each did it our own way. I did it I heard about doing it both ways, the right way, and then yours. That's a Psych. You ever watch the show Psych?
Yeah.
It's a hilarious show. My daughters loved it, so they watched like every season. And there's been like 2 Psych movies, I think, which I have not seen. But at some point, as a lot of these sitcoms do, they did like a musical episode.
Oh yeah, I love the musical episodes.
And they did this. They like made a song for I've Heard It Both Ways, and the song lyrics go, "I've heard it both ways, the right way, and then yours. I've heard it both ways."
Okay, I gotta watch Psych now.
Yes, Sean and Gus are hilarious. Yeah, and that's got a Star Wars tie-in because, what's his name? The voice of, no, I can't remember who's done like half the voices in Star Wars. What's his name? Was the police captain in Psych.
Oh yeah. I'm
Come on,
Googling
chat
it 'cause
room. What's his name? Okay, the chat room will look that up and tell it.
Carlton Lassiter is the character.
Yeah, Lassiter
and
was the character.
Actor is
no, not Timothy Omenson.
Timothy Omenson. Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Oh, yep. Yeah. Not Oliphant.
Right, not Oliphant, for sure.
Who was in Mandalorian.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, and he's done other things. He had a stroke about a year ago, and apparently he's recovered a ton from that, and has really come back, which is really great to hear. Because it impacted his speech, and he wasn't able to do a lot of the voice work that he was doing, and he was acting quite a bit, but has totally come back from that, and I'm really happy because he's one of my favorite voice actors and a great actor, regardless. But he's done a ton of voices in Star Wars. Jorgen, he's done voices. He's one of the voices in Shadow of Revan. When there's,
I would love it if he was on one of our live streams. Oh my God, that would be awesome.
Oh my gosh. Well, he's kind of big deal. He's kind of.
I know, but he did the work, so maybe he'd be interested.
Oh yeah. All right. Fine. I give you permission to book him.
Why, thank you.
Make it so, number 1. All right. What are we up to? We're up to June.
Wait, I mean, I didn't mean our streams. I meant like.
Oh, on the
BioWare live stream.
No, get them on our show. What are you talking about?
Like they've been doing other voice actors.
Marcus had Holly Fields on their show.
Yeah, that's right. He did.
Shut up, Max.
That's her.
Thanks for trusting me. Shut up, Max.
So get Timothy on our show. Tim, T-Man,
I'll
T-O.
get on that. I'll send him an email.
Oh, man. That's what I'll call him. And then that'll make him think that he knows me. And then he'll come on our show. He won't.
Yes.
In
That totally will work.
June, we had Total Galactic War again. Oh, that was our second one. Another one. Oh, no.
Another one.
We had a third one in September. I see. I'm
Yeah.
peeking ahead.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see a note here. Max does not like to run bombs. We must have been doing Temple of
Sacrifice.
Temple of Sacrifice.
Yes. And you made quite a deal on one episode.
Apollos
about
is gone, right? Apollos, we need you back. Come back, get back in here, because you need to come run the bombs when you do the 2 walkers in Temple of Sacrifice, because I don't like running them. Because you don't get to DPS then. I don't get to pew pew. See what I got? See this gun show going on here? They gotta get my guns.
I feel like we're in June again.
But I did it, didn't I? I did a fine job, didn't I? And we got
You
through
did it.
We
Yes, you did it.
survived. I will survive. As long as I know how to run bombs, I know I'll be alive. All right. And we talked about the Umbara Stronghold. Oh, the Umbara Stronghold. Yeah. You guys have an Umbara Stronghold? I do.
Yeah.
That's the train. Get on.
Yeah, that came up in MFN this week. What was it? We were talking about decos, I think. And we were talking about how many holo trees everyone had. And someone was saying, put them in your Umbara Stronghold.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you do that?
I don't know. Somebody listening can chime in because I don't remember the exact context. But yeah.
I meant to be shooting these fireworks off because it was New Year's. Oh, look at the tree one. That's kind of cool. Oh, that's a reusable. The fireworks life day tree. You can buy it for snow-covered parcels as a currency. And look at what it does. It goes zip, 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 zip in like a little tree formation. Nice. And then I have many of these. First anniversary, second anniversary, fireworks fountain.
And then we had a really big deal change in July, which is the max number of tech frags went from 10,000 to 11,000.
But then we didn't have to have the you didn't have to ride so close to the limit, which was the problem.
Yes. It was like a quality of life thing.
That was a fine update, and we were happy to have it. Because at 10,000 tech frags, then you were capped out, and that's when you could buy you could turn them in to get an OEM or a RPM.
So no matter what, you would
for many
waste some tech frag. Yeah.
Right. So then we were going into a night, we were like always over the limit because you were starting to get the warning at 8,000 and you were always over the limit and you were getting that stupid warning constantly. So yeah, that was nice.
And then July was also when combat styles went up on the PTS for the first time. And I was like, I feel like the combat styles have been up on the PTS like forever. And yet it also feels like it wasn't 6 months ago either.
Right.
And that was back when I thought what they meant by combat styles was, switching, but it just meant pruning.
Right. So they've cleaned up, they've tightened up the rotation, they've pruned a couple abilities, and then through loadouts is where combat styles really start to shine, because then you can get a second one and you can switch between them really quickly and you can have multiple configurations of a single style, and it starts to really make a lot of sense when you couple it with loadouts. Was that in August we talked to Chris Schmidt. I think in July is when they did this live stream, wasn't it? Is this the one where they did it with all the the first 10 minutes of the live stream was like a 90 seconds from each of the developer, a selection
Yeah,
of
I think you're
content,
right.
content developers and like developers, testers, just a bunch of team members. So Fred Newman, he was the first one. I took a screenshot of each one of them with their nameplates. Cole Riston, audio director, he did a little talk. Jen Harkness, that's a great name, Jen Harkness. Senior
I feel like
engineer.
that first guy,
senior
his
engineer.
parents were like, Fred with an F is already taken.
That's funny. They put it into they tried to create the character.
Right.
Fred with an F was taken, so they had to make a PHRED. I'll have to ask him about that. Book him on the show too, Seema.
Okay.
Cole, Jen Harkness, Caitlin Sullivan Kelly. She's got good glasses there.
She wrote one of the stories that came out recently.
She's a writer. Fabian Parker, who had been there since 2011, lead external dev artist. Anna Lee, concept art supervisor since 2014. Matt Pusevich, gameplay designer since 2009 at BioWare. Ashley Rule since 2011. All these people had been there for so long. It was so surprising. I mean, look at Ashley. She looks like a child.
Yes, she does.
And she's been there since 2011. So she's not. But yeah. Lou Ross and his corgi.
She's also got a pretty decent setup behind her. Ashley does.
Look, she's got the little baby Yoda back there on the shelves.
But the cubbies and everything.
Lou Ross has a spectacular setup because he's got the shelves with all the fan stuff and the books and
he's got
a chair with a corgi on it. Come on.
Yeah, that's winner right there.
And then this guy, Keith, who's been there a little over, a year and a half, 2 years now?
Keith? No, he's been there for a long time.
Yeah, probably. He's probably been there 6 years, and it just seems to me to be a year and a half.
But he hasn't been a producer all that time.
Oh, really? I thought he got hired on into the producer role.
I don't think so. I think he was like Eric's boss before he was an actual producer. But I don't know why I think that.
I don't know why I think that either. Lots of SWTOR by July 15th. So this code is probably not still available. So you could try to type it in, but it probably won't work. But that was in the live stream. This is where they showed off combat styles. Showed off some of the pictures, storyline, talk about Malgus, stuff on Manon. They showed off the concept art of Manon. This was a good stream because this was when we started to get excited about what was coming. Started to get some of the good concept art and stuff. Elam, get that smell off of Elam, that Elon Musk. Cannot resist that. So this surprised me. Try. Negative Ghost Rider. August. Tabby as an officer in August. I did not know that Tabby didn't join as an officer until August. And Albus was in 2021 as well. I forgot.
I was wondering. I was wondering when
right,
Albus came.
Because Albus was post WinterCon. Or right around WinterCon.
Oh, right. You're right. So, yeah.
And then Tabby as an officer in August. So 6 months or so, or 5 months at this point. But it feels like Tabby has been an officer for longer.
Yeah, same with Albus.
September. Seema finally.
I finally finished Galactic Seasons.
Galactic Seasons. And yeah, your sub bullet there is Max must have finished much earlier. I'm sure much earlier. I must have been done. But I don't know exactly when.
At some point, not too long after this, I must have switched my efforts from Galactic Seasons to getting Renown 100 on all 8.
Ah, yes, 8 cares to 100. Oh, speaking of that, here's a little tidbit, pro tip. If you're still working on that, if either 1 character to 999 or 8 characters to 100, on the Winterfest vendor, no, on the anniversary vendor. I think it's on, one of the 2 vendors. Now I forgot which one is on. I think it's on the anniversary vendor. There's a Renown Boost for 5,000 credits. So if you need extra Renown Boost because you're still doing it, you can get cheap Renown Boosts off the anniversary vendor. So there you go.
And if you are, run around with a group of people doing snowballs, that's pretty good renown right now too. Well, is the let me look if the double thing is. Yeah, it's still on, right? No. Did it finish?
No, I think the double is still on.
Oh no, it's still on. Yeah. So so that's a lot of renown right there too. And and what I found out too late really is that, find out is not right. I had forgotten. I already knew this at one point, but if you don't need gear and tech fragments for gear, then you can, when you get renown crates, instead of claiming this stuff and doing it that way, you can just leave them in the, what am I trying to say?
In your renown stash.
Yeah, and then DE them inside the stash, and then you get renown for that as well. And that can add up too.
Yeah.
Way more than I thought it would.
Yeah, I've cleared this out, but yeah, if you do it in the stash, you don't get like tech frags out of it, but you do
just get straight renown.
Which, if that's what you're going for, that's what you want to do. So yeah, that is a good pro tip. So and it's really fast because you can just open, select all, disintegrate, and it all goes into renown. It's not a ton, but it's a good little boost.
And you don't have to have room for it in your inventory. You don't have to,
Right. You don't have to like sort it out and like look for the. Well, now it doesn't matter anymore. Just disintegrate everything for tech frags or for renown or whatever you want to do. You got to clear them out anyway. In August, we talked to Chris Schmidt, didn't we?
Oh yeah, that was so much fun. He was a really good guy.
What was that? 387? That's 387. 393. Yeah. So 393, we did our interview with Chris Schmidt. That worked out really well. Was really fun to do. Dug into a bunch of stuff, learned a bunch of what we were trying to figure out. And then I published this as a PDF even of all of our notes out of the discussion with Chris Schmidt. Really appreciate what he was, him coming on and doing that. That was really fun. Hope we get to do more of those kinds of things in the future.
He was really generous with his time, and he was very prepared when he came. He was great.
Yeah. And in fact, unveiling details that hadn't been unveiled before, really, which is hard for them to do. And it was really cool of him to do that. September, remember something of September.
That's when we first heard about the best view in SWTOR contest.
Oh, right. Which we will be getting next month. They're done, but we'll get those decos on the anniversary vendor for those winning screenshots. Those are all prepared, but they won't be in the game until the 7.0 patch goes live.
Right.
And then you'll be able to purchase them all on the anniversary vendor. And if one of yours was the winning screenshot, you get a special version, which has a gold border that only you will have, which is kind of really, really cool. Really, super unique. Only you will have it. It's not huge, but you could put it in your stronghold, a gold framed version of the like sort of the original, and no one else will have that on the whole server, on any game. Just you. That kind of thing, that is a worthwhile prize in my mind. Something super unique that only that person will get. they could have given them cartel coins. They could have given them credits or whatever. But you can get all that. You can get all that stuff other ways. Having something super unique like that. Well, we do a dumb version of this, dumb, but a fun version of this in our guild. Whenever we have the guild contests, like our megas, we do an amazing race or whatever. We do not have the member notes open and available to everyone because, well, it goes back to ancient history. There's bad behavior, people changing other people's member notes. There's only
Right, because you can't open it without opening it for everybody or something.
Right, exactly. You can only turn on edit any member note or no member notes. As you can't say only edit your own member note, or we will turn that on. So what we decided to do for some of our member notes was, if you won one of our contests, you got a member note that said you were special and you were the winner. So we've got Fleet Apex Racer was Jenko, won one of our mega event pod races. So bunch of, so if you sort of scroll through the member note comments in our guild, you'll see some of those. Amazing race winner 2020 was Hibiru, which is DP Roberts. So I think that's cool. Nobody else can have. It's really unique. That's a good way to do it. So those gold framed art pieces are really a cool way to make that something special in the game. All right, we're up to October, Seema. Seema was working on Renown.
Yep, I was.
Oh, so this is your 8 characters to 100.
Yes, and this is, October was also when we had our episode 400. Episode
400, yeah. 400 episodes. What are we up to now? 409? Is tonight 409? Is that where we're at? Yeah, 409.
And we had several guests on us to help us celebrate by talking about their favorite moments in Star Wars: The Old Republic, which was fun.
Yeah. And
also
yeah, go ahead on that.
I was just going to say, also in October we had the Feast of Prosperity started for the second time because it had started the year before. So this was our second Feast of Prosperity.
Yeah, I glossed over that.
And we also got some news on 7.0, including news on the legendary system, shared tagging, and weapons and outfitter.
Oh, I keep forgetting about shared tagging. I'm excited for that.
Me too.
Come out. Legendaries, we'll see how that goes. It's not as exciting as I had wanted, but I get what they're doing with it, and I don't mind it. I think it's fine. It's just not as exciting. I wouldn't have called it legendary. I think that oversells it. I would have called it like tech set implant booster Mac.
Oh, and I did the same thing they did, which I buried the lead, which is the combat res change.
Oh.
But yeah, so that was kind of interesting. I think it'll be fine though.
Yeah. But yeah, shared tagging, that's probably the most dramatic for the kinds of stuff we do.
So, I mean, I know we're not talking about predictions right now, but I predict all kinds of issues with share tagging. Just saying. I'm saying it.
Yes.
Nobody else can predict it now.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff that just either will have slipped through the cracks or won't be working properly, or because that's kind of like a big system coding issue change,
and it probably crops up in a lot of other systems.
Right. Yeah. So that's going to cause them some headaches for a while. They're going to need to be patching it up. November. Elam vet mode on the PTS. We did not do Elam vet mode. We did Elam. And then I think we did it in November. Elam was fun. The what is it? What is the path of the Lord of the Rings path that you have to climb up the side of the mountain. It has a name. I forgot what chat room. What was it called? Where the mountain, the snowy mountain path that they had to try to take to get over the mines of Moria, that they couldn't, that they didn't make it through, and then they had to go through the mines instead. That is implemented in the Elam flashpoint, and it's just as headache-inducing as it was for the Fellowship. But it was an inspired element of that flashpoint. I think we'll sort of get tired of it by the 10th time we do it. But I did think it was pretty unique and interesting that they put it in there. And then they did a story stream with Charles and the voice actor Inuka Okuma, who voices Tawader. And she was awesome as well. The Pass of Karadas.
Yeah,
Karadas.
Also, Redhorn, right? Or
yes, the pass is named one thing, and then you're right. And of course it would be Intisar, who would know all of the names and the lore of everything, everywhere.
Yes, it would be, yes.
So that led us into December, which is over for you.
Yeah.
I have 19
September.
minutes left in December.
Yes, that's true.
And
it is over for me.
A lot of stuff happened in December as well. So, EPC 0. So you talk about some of December, and I will bring up a picture.
Well, and then December we did do vet mode, Elam, right? Or we did most of it.
Did we do vet mode?
Yeah, because
we did. You're right.
Yeah, because Lucy and Corley came with us.
Master
on the
mode. They released Master mode in December.
I think we did vet mode, though.
We did not do Master mode. Yeah, you're right. We did vet mode.
I mean, the biggest thing in December clearly was that the return of EPC 0.
Yes, and that's what I'm bringing up here.
Okay.
EPC 0 screenshots. Where you at, buddy? Oh, this is one of them.
December. December's also when we heard about that 7.0 was being delayed to February. Also this month, which I mean, feels funny to say this because we're right in the middle of it, but Life Day.
Yes.
Oh, this is kind of meta. I forgot I put this in here. Max and Seema talk about 2021.
I remember that. I remember when we did that. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was the best show of the year. Man. Star Wars Eclipse.
Well, I mean last year now.
What? Star Wars Eclipse.
That's that trailer from the story.
The story-driven game thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch, but I don't know, but I don't think it's for me necessarily. But it was very beautiful.
The biggest news of December was 7.0 getting postponed.
Yeah.
So we were all sad that it got postponed. Well, we were sad that it got postponed, but we weren't mad that it got postponed. And when I say we, I'm talking about the greater we, not the royal we, which is me, but the greater we, which is the community who reacted relatively positively to the idea of let's let it settle down. Let's give it some time. Let's work out the bugs. Let's give you guys a Christmas vacation. Let's not cram it in before the end of the year. We're fine with that.
I'm bitter though.
Are you? Are you
Yes.
ragey and bitter?
I'm bitter because that meant my prediction was wrong.
Mm.
Really wrong.
It meant half of my prediction was right. Because my prediction was...
well, that makes me even more bitter.
Of course. My prediction was the 14th, which was wrong. And my prediction was that it would get postponed. And you said it was the 7th, which was right for their initial...
No, I think it wasn't. Even their initial was the 14th. But your prediction was that it would be pushed out
to the
like
21st, just 7 days.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I mean, that's
I
not
did
right.
not think that they would get it, that they would let it go into 2022, let alone into February, because 10th anniversary. I was
Yeah.
thinking they would get something out, and they didn't.
That must have been a hard decision.
That must have been a hard decision. They did put a bunch of stuff in though. So they put in, they put all of these things in that we're doing now. They, and we have like an extra. What did this do? Why did my go back? What did you just do? My screenshot changed. They did. I mean, we're even getting another Feast of Prosperity that's starting up soon. A third Feast of Prosperity. And we just had one a couple months ago. We're getting,
which I forgot to mention, by the way, when we were talking about second Feast of Prosperity, which is that I went and got all the achievements.
And then including the hard ones, which I did not get, which was the chef, the cooking thing, and the collecting all the ingredients, doing all of the hidden achievement with the ingredient stuff. And yeah, so if you did not finish it, then you'll get another chance coming up.
Yeah.
2 more conquest weeks in January here.
Also, that's also a good way to do Renown too. Are those Feast of Prosperity quests? So
right, that was. In fact, you got a ton of your Renown ranks done for your 8 to 100.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. So I am 600 on my Merc. I think this is my highest single character.
Yeah, I'm like 610 or 620. Oh, I'm 630 now.
594. So could try to push it. Get a 999, but that's a lot of work.
I know. For something that's just going to be zeroed out.
Right. Feat of Strength. It'll be there and with 0 next to it, but it'll be a Feat of Strength, and no one else will be able to get it ever again in their Feat of Strength list. All right. So it was a lot happened in 2021. And we do these end of year wrap ups. We see a lot out there and remind ourselves of everything that happened this past 12 months. And it's been a bunch of stuff. We didn't get the expansion that we expected to. So that didn't come through for us, but it's still there. I mean, we know that it's hot on the heels of 2021, and we'll get it pretty soon.
It won't be the expansion we deserve, but it will be the expansion we need.
Right.
Wait, did I say that backwards?
Yes, because we're the idea is you're terrible people. You deserve nothing.
Right.
That's right. You deserve a punch in the face, but you're going to get an expansion because you really do need one, and we're going to do that for you. That's the hero you need, not the hero you deserve.
Yep.
Because you deserve a punch in the face.
That's right.
Next week, and in fact, I didn't even look. Next week, we will look at all of our predictions and see how many of those came true, and more importantly, predict what's going to happen in 2022. So as we said, if you have things to predict, if you have an evaluation of your own predictions for 2021 and what you got right and what you got wrong, send them in. We'll do a shout out. We'll look at some of those, and we'll come up with our own as well, including maybe some Wall of Crazy kind of things. What would be the thing that we're pretty sure they won't do, but would we maybe wishes? So we always do wishes and predictions. What do we predict is going to happen, and what do we wish that was going to happen? What we predict won't. So be ready for those as well. And we will have all of you in 2022 in Central Time in 11 minutes. So we'll do it in the post show. But again, really appreciate everyone sticking with us through 2021. It's been a fun year. 409. So this is episode 409. We got through 400. We got EPC 0 back. This has been fun. So let's play it out, Seema. Any final party comments to 2021 before I read out our closing that we usually do?
Nope. I just want to say Happy New Year and looking forward to 2022 with all of you.
And with that, for podcast links, follow me on Twitter at MaxTheGray. And if you know any cool people that should be playing with us, tell them to check us out on the podcast on newoverlords.com. And come find us at aie-guild.org. Our guild Discord is in the upper right there on that guild website. And we can get you in for an AIE Guild invite. We are on Starforge. We can get you on the Republic or the Imperial side or in any of the other games that our community plays. And we will talk to you soon.
Later, everyone.